Hey everyone, I'm out here at the local flying field here. It's a hot summer morning and some friends have asked me to talk about what this flying machine that I keep posting videos is. So if you got a couple minutes, stick around and I'll show you what this thing is that I'm flying around in the sky. So basically it's called a paramotor and it has two main parts. The motor, which is behind me, and out in the field is the wing. So I'll show you what the motor is. So here we go. The motor is a Air Conception Revolution 200. It's a French company with a Polish motor, I believe. It's about 200 cc and puts out about 160 to 170 pounds of thrust, which is more than enough to take me off the ground. It's super lightweight. It's an aluminum block and has a dual start option. So not only if you get lazy and you don't want to pull it, you can have an electric start. It uses a little small RC battery, which is right there in the pouch. Electric motor underneath there to start it up. Carbon fiber prop. And yeah, it's a two-stroke motor, so you got to mix 50 to 1 before you go anywhere. It's a titanium frame with some carbon fiber spars on it. Super lightweight, so with no reserve parachute and no fuel, it weighs about 50 pounds. But the reserve adds 5 pounds to it, and then fuel obviously about 8 pounds a gallon. This one carries 11.5 liters. It's good enough for about 2.5 hours of flying. The harness is a sup air harness. It's pretty simple. The seat here, when you're on the ground, it tucks up behind your back, so it's out of the way. And then once you take off, you just bring your knees up to your chest, and this seat pops out, just like that. The swing arms here, it's where you clip the wing into. There's connection points on either side. They move so that if you shift your weight in the seat, the wing will actually move to help make some minor course corrections. Inside this little pouch here, I've got my GPS, and I carry my cell phone so I can keep an eye out for where I'm at and have a way of navigating if I'm flying around the area and don't know my way back, which has never happened, but hey, could. Who knows? So yeah, that's the Air Conception Revolution 200. I got my reserve parachute here. You never know, you may ever take a collapse and you might have to throw the reserve. Typically it's not something that I'm too concerned about, but it's always there just in case. So that's the motor. Okay, now that you've seen the motor, let's take a look at the other second part, the wing. The wing here is a soft wing made of a synthetic material. I'm not exactly sure what it is, some proprietary material. It's made by a brand called MacPara, and the model is a Charger 2, and the color selection is lime. When you're moving forward, the wing fills up with air and becomes a soft airfoil and pretty stable. You can take some moderate turbulence and feel pretty safe in it. Has a bunch of lines running down it, and they all join together in the point called the risers. So let's take a look at the risers. Now, the risers are consisted of A's, B's, C's, and D's. And basically, the red and the orange are the A's, the blue handle ones are the B's, and part of the C's there too, and then the D's are in the back. It's got a couple controls on it. The main brake toggles, which are right here. Basically, the brakes are the main controls, and when you're flying, you either pull the right brake and you turn right, or you pull the left brake and you turn left. That's the basics of basic turns. And when you pull them, they deflect either the right half of the trailing edge of the wing or the left half, depending on which one you pull. They also can be used at takeoff, well, they should be used at takeoff and landing. When you're taking off, you add a little bit of brake pressure on both brakes. It kind of acts like a flap steel on an airplane wing, and it gives you a little extra lift. And once you get off the ground, you release the brakes, you stay on the power, and the old saying is hands up to go up, so long as you stay on the power. When you come into land, you are off the power, you're gliding in, and about 3 to 4 feet off the ground, you start applying brake pressure, and it will give you a nice rounded out flare, and you'll bleed off airspeed, and eventually just step on out of the sky. At the top here, these little D handles, that's for tip steering, and those are kind of fun. So once you're up in the air, you stow the brakes on these little red magnets right here, and you pull the little tip steers out, and they, when you pull on one, just deflect the tip of the wing in, and they're really kind of fun because they give you a lot of roll, and they don't take very much effort to pull. So just put your finger in there and a little bit of pull, and you're gonna be rolling left or rolling right. So they're kind of fun. And then this little cam buckle right here, right there, that's the trimmers, and the trimmers trim the wing. It changes the way the wing flies through the air. So right now they're set at neutral. That's what you use for takeoff and landing. If you want to fly a little bit faster, you set the trims out so you would release them and they go out to the 2 orange settings, or all the way out. And what they do is what allow you to fly a little bit faster. So if you're stuck downwind, you're trying to get home and just fighting a heck of a headwind, you can dump the trimmers out and gain a few miles an hour to help, get you back to where you're going and fly a little faster. Pull the trims in, the wing gets even more maneuverable, but it flies slower. So it all depends what you want to do. This little red spot where my hands are holding right now, that's what clips into the carabiners on the swing arms for the on the motor and harness setup. So that's basically it. Not much to it. You just got to make sure your lines are all laid out straight, and when you go to take off, you don't want any knots or twists in your lines. That could be a big problem. So yeah, that's the basics to it. Like I said, there's left and right risers. You clip into them. Right now we are laid out for takeoff, and that's basically it on this very simple but fun flying machine. So if you want to follow me on some of these flight adventures, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching. Let's go flying.